ToyTractorTimes.com is at the 2014 Lafayette Farm Toy Show in Indianapolis, Indiana. We're with one of our favorite annual displayers, Jim Gorman. He's very talented at scratch building and customizing 1/16 tractors. And Jim, you've got to have a white farm equipment heritage display here with some things with 4-wheel drives, Moline and Oliver.
Well, it's mostly the series, evolutionary series, which the Toy Farmer at the National, they had the 1/32nd scale and the 1/64th, and I had one of the white 410s in the 1/16 scale, and I decided I wanted to have the complete set of the evolutionary series to match. So I detailed and customized the white 4210 to match like the complete set. But when you get to the evolutionary series, then you can go clear back to where the 4-wheel drive started, which was with Don Oliver with the stud guard. So from there you come right on up to today where they've got the Agco in there.
And that's a really great replica of the stud cart that you've built.
It's 2 tractors completely put together, but the motor and all that is all brass. It all pivots and oscillates like the tractor is supposed to. But I think there was only 35 real ones ever built.
No, come on over here.
So we built that, but then we had to have the series, my little series per se, you know, and it's got 18-438 radials on it.
I like how you added all the hand levers inside the cab.
The detail work on the inside was a little challenging as far as the levers and the hand painting on the inside, but then the lights.
You added all the red paint, which makes it authentic.
Yes. But that took a while too.
Sure. And another Minneapolis Moline project that you brought out was one of their more famous tractors. It was more like a car than a tractor.
Yeah, that's the 38-39 UDLX that Moline had, and it didn't sell too good because it was a little pricey at $22.50. And
what would one bring today if you could find one?
That would be a different story. But when I was out at the National, I'd seen the one that Roger Moore had that was in the National, and I always thought it was such a nice piece, and I thought I needed one for my collection, so I took and built one. I took a scale model casting, cut it up, built the motor. It's all out of brass with the radiator, the fan, the gas tank, spark plug. It's all inside, just like the real tractor. But then used the front end out from under to make it all pivot, oscillate. Exhaust, of course, comes out underneath the belly of it. But by using the spec cast wheels and stuff, you had the die cast rims, which to me was more detail. But then the Molines had like the hubcaps on them, which we put on those. But then one of their selling points was you could use it all day, and they had the high-low transmission, which would run up to 40 miles an hour, and you could take your wife to town shopping on Saturday after being in the field plowing. And it had
That's the original buddy seat.
your jump seat in there where she could ride with you. So,
and it looks like it has a spotlight up on the roof.
This was her light for the rear. And then they had their brake light, which was that, but the handle to get in and their little swing and drawbar. But in order, they had a PTO shaft, but I couldn't bring myself to cut a hole in there to run the PTO shaft after all that work.
That'd be an interesting way to set it up for because, and then the hood opens on the other side as well.
Yes, it's like that, but these would come off, you know, so that you could get in to change spark plugs and filters and work on it, you know.
And when we look over here, you can see, you know, Scale Models made a very nice basic replica, but it certainly doesn't have the opening components and transmission detail.
But, like on the grills, now the first runs they made was the all chrome grill. Later on, they went and put the red on, which when you get to reading some of the history, that's what the books I've read say. But I went with the first one I run across was the old one with the chrome grill, is the way I wanted it. But it turned out pretty good for.
Oh, it's a nice project. It sure would have been neat to see one of those in the field because it looks more like it belongs on the highway.
Yeah, it was just ahead of its time. And that's things like that that just grab your attention, and you've got to study them, you know. But that's it's like this. This is why my display I entitled it "Precious Memories," because that's what it is to me. It's just.
I appreciate all the history that you're capturing through Farm Toys, and thank you for bringing them out to the show each year.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jim.
Glad to do it.